who played about as good as they could play in that match, but it wasn't going to be good enough. England wins. England advances. That means we've got game number 2 coming up here. Joe Raineri alongside Craig Mish. And get ready for what a lot of people say could be a very sneaky underdog here in Senegal taking on Belgium. And this one is in Lumen Field in Seattle. And it was a lot closer than you would think. Belgium, of course, historically, Craig, one of the World Cup favorites. They hadn't played great. They had to qualify to advance. Actually, they needed that third game in the group stage in order to actually unload 5 goals to give themselves an opportunity to get here. Ton of firepower, not a lot of defense, but Senegal, everyone says, is the best or the most dangerous third seed to come out of the group stages that not a lot of teams want to face. But boy, oh boy, this total is high. It's a pretty evenly priced match. What do you think we're going to get in this one? I think we're going to get some goals here.
It could be the case. There's a few things playing into that factor, and good to be with you once again, Joe, for another edition of our in-game live World Cup. So, the biggest story, I think, in the last 48 hours, from what I understand here, and to keep it transparent with all of you, I mean, we are talking World Cup and sometimes learning the same things that you guys are learning in the media, too. It's not like we just are, insiders in soccer or anything like that. But Senegal's goalie is missing this game. And so that's the big story, at least to begin with. They have their backup, but apparently, Joe, he is just as capable as their starter. So there really isn't a huge drop off there. And you didn't see Belgium or the line move even all that much. So every team generally has 2 good goaltenders. And this is the story with Senegal, number 1. Number 2, they definitely would have been a 2 or a 1 seed coming out of just about any other group. They were in a really tough group to start, so your point is well taken. They finished 3rd, but they could have finished 2nd somewhere else or 1st. It's just they had really tough matches where things didn't go exactly the way that they would have wanted to, and they probably would have had better success had they had a little bit more of a cupcake schedule, what they did not. But the one factor today, in order for Senegal to stay in this game, because Belgium is definitely better, is they have a fast team, and their wings on the outside are just as fast or faster than anybody on the pitch right now. So that will be the key, is watching up top of the screen, watching on the bottom of your screen, and to see if that plays a big factor. If it does not, up the middle is Senegal, from my understanding, is just not as good, and that would give Belgium probably an early lead and a big lead today. Totals are pretty much where they've been for a lot of the different matches as we've seen. You're right. There is some shade toward the over here, a little bit bigger than some of the lines that we've seen. And we'll see if the goalie becomes a story today. We'll see. It's really, the story is more about Senegal than it is about Belgium. Because as you said, this is one that a lot of folks think has a chance today. I will go with, I'm getting better as we go, by the way, here. But I will go with today a 1-1 draw. And then Belgium wins in the post kick matchup after it's over. So I will go with a 1-1 draw. That will be my prediction today.
I like it. Listen, we talked about, and one of my favorite bets at this point in the World Cup is both teams to score, especially when you have 2, and they keep hitting, and you've got 2 competent offenses here. Obviously, Belgium kind of a step above. I mean, the 5-1 win over New Zealand tells you exactly what Belgium is. But, Belgium doesn't have a lot of clean sheets. They are often giving up their share of goals, but they got no problem scoring them either. And make no mistake, to your point, backup, no backup, Senegal is loaded with a whole bunch of guys, especially attackers here, that play in the Premier League. I mean, they have a ton of experience on this Senegal team. So they've got some big-name guys. They've got plenty of experience. They're not going to go away easily. But anytime you talk Belgium, I would always think both teams to score. And the fact that it's Senegal, I believe it's exactly what we're going to get. So both teams to score here. And again, right now, plus 105 for Belgium. Senegal plus 300 with that 2.5 still to the over in that one. And of course, still to come, the United States men's national team taking on Bosnia. That is coming up at 8 o'clock Eastern here tonight. That one's going to be in Santa Clara at Levi's Stadium. And boy, oh boy, the money just keeps rolling in here on Team USA, Greg, which, again, could very well be fine. They might win this thing going away 3-0, 3-1. I'm hoping for nothing but the best. But for a team that has always been looked at as the, yeah, I know it's a nice team, but they're not there yet. It's one thing to be an underdog and perform. It's a whole other thing to be this kind of favorite, be expected to win, and have to go out and do it. So I think we're going to learn a little something about just how good this United States men's team actually is coming up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and look, I think you throw the Turkey match out, their last match, because the second half they looked completely disinterested when Turkey came back and won that one. So I do think USA wins today. I don't think it's particularly close. But as I said on the earlier show, I am pulling really hard for, I mean, this one I think Team USA wins, but it's the next match to me that I think is going to define the World Cup for them. Because again, Joe, this is like any other sport. We don't have to know soccer to know when you're a -500 or a -600 in a straight up match or game in any sport, you're supposed to win big. And you're supposed to win easy. And anything less than that's going to be questioning whether or not Team USA can get back. As an example, if their match against Bosnia tonight and they end up winning 2-1 or 3-2, I think that you would definitely be concerned that, hey, look, this was when they were supposed to blow the other team out and they did not. But again, we can see how it goes. And certainly you have to watch these closely in order to place the proper bets as well. But I just don't have concerns for Team USA tonight. I think they're motivated. They're playing in the U.S., of course. They're playing in San Francisco. It's a really good venue for them. And I do think they win. And then we'll see who they play in the next round. But for me, that will determine the success or failure in the 2026 World Cup, Joe. Not getting to the 16. It's getting down to the 8.
Well, yeah, again, they are a big favorite for a reason, but they are also being bet in the market because, well, they're the home team. So this should be interesting. And again, it's been a while since we've actually seen them play, it feels like, but we're going to see them play hopefully a few more games before it is all said and done here. But we're 8 minutes in now to Senegal and Belgium. Still no score. This game seems to have been played mostly at midfield here. Not a whole lot going on. But again, goals is what we're expecting. And don't get discouraged. And we mention it every show here, Craig, that, first halves tend to be a little slow for whatever reason. I guess it makes sense, right? Teams that, here you are, knockout stage. Nobody is coming out playing all reckless right off the bat. There's an adjustment period here, usually a little conservative. But okay, the second half tends to be a heck of a lot more scoring. And it's usually these come from behind wins with teams that were supposed to win to begin with. So we do finally have a nice shot on goal by Belgium. Nice save by Senegal. We're off and we're running here, and about even money right now for Belgium in the marketplace if you want to jump in there. We have got you covered. We're just getting started as in-game live game day continues. The knockout stages of the World Cup next.
He gives them a chance, but they've got to keep putting people around him. I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't know that he's the one that elevates you all by himself. I think he still needs the help. Excellent player, perfect guy to lead your organization, perfect place for it. And by the way, I'd start him from day one. I wouldn't waste any time on it. But got to put pieces around him, and John Spytek has already started doing that.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done. He's
stop jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Are you ready for el verano más futbolero de tu vida? Latin Nation Football Club turns into Copa Nation, our live stream experience every day, de lunes a viernes, 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Pacific as well. Checking in after the games. In that slot between games, we got you, my friend. We're going to have celebrities, legends of the game, content creators, and a bunch of our friends that are going to keep you entertained and informed, letting you know what's happening all across the 3 countries that are going to be experiencing this crazy, crazy football tournament. Don't miss it. Copa Nation right here on Latin Nation every day. Check it out.
Welcome back in-game live game day here on the Sports Grid Network. It's all about the knockout stages here. We've got game number 2 on tap today at the World Cup. We watched England get it done all in the second half, thanks to Harry Kane, against Congo in game 1. Here we are with Senegal and Belgium, 12 minutes in, 0-0. Not a shock, since we've seen a lot of these games start slow in the World Cup, not just the group stages, but of course, certainly in the knockout stage here. Joe Raineri alongside Craig Mish. And again, a lot of this I've been seeing right around midfield here, Craig. There's so very conservative approach, I think, certainly by Senegal at this point.
Well, it's safe to say that the first match that we saw this afternoon and this match are like night and day. There was so much attacking going on here. I don't want to steal the thunder of the shot that just went down here.
I'm just going to wait for you to see it, and then you can have the same reaction I just did, because as you were exactly as you were saying that, well, it's safe to say the first match was going to be more exciting, and he hit the post. Senegal was that close to making it a 1-0. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
so those of you who are not watching and watching us, Senegal just had the opportunity of a lifetime and just blew it.
Yes.
And did they blow it? Okay, so the goalie tipped it ever so slightly, so the momentum of the ball kind of took it a little bit to the left. Hey, give the goalie credit, Joe. If he doesn't touch it, that's a goal. If he does not touch it and force the ball a little bit over, that's a goal. Right through the middle.
I agree. I just want to know how the Senegal player managed to, he was in perfect spot for the rebound, too. Perfect spot.
Yeah, but
he split 2 Belgium defenders who were just watching instead of trying to box out and defend out. But boy, oh boy, if this is a 1-goal deficit at the end when it's all said and done, Greg, we're going to rewind that and play that one here. But needless to say, Senegal, though, keeping it in the Belgian side, and 15 minutes in, still 0-0 in this one. Have not seen, I could be wrong, but I have not seen a corner kick of any sort. Those of you that dabble in the corner kicks, which is a very popular market, mostly because to me in that market, and we saw it in the England game, it's either feast or famine. Either you get 1 million of them or you get 3 of them, and that's about it. It's either one or the other, Craig. You either get you get 20 corner kicks or you get 5, and there's no in between here. But so far, I have not seen one, but Senegal has controlled, it looks like, possession for about 60% of the match so far, and we're about 15 minutes in. So kudos. But we've seen these favorites do this too, Craig, right? They kind of sit there and say, okay, let's see what you have. We saw England do this with Congo. We're kind of watching Belgium kind of on their heels a little bit, letting Senegal dictate the pace. But what happens when Belgium wants to kick it up a notch here a little bit? That's usually we don't get that till after the hydration breaks, though. At least that's what we have seen to this point.
So maybe it's a little bit of rope-a-dope, as you're saying, from Belgium, saying, "All right, we're gonna see what the best you got, and then if you can't come through, then we know that we can't score. We could get a little bit more aggressive." I don't know, though. Senegal seemed to me they were inches away from that first goal of the game, so I don't know that Belgium should be playing it that way. So you're right. At the end of this one, looking back on it, if Belgium doesn't score, then they're going to say we really probably should have. By the way, the player who kicked the ball, who was really close on that, already has 4 goals in the World Cup too. So it's not like they don't have scores.
Wow.
And as you said, they've dominated the time of possession on their other side, 65% to about 35%, which tells you that Senegal has been the far more aggressive team. But thus far, one opportunity and one opportunity short.
That is correct. Now, mind you, I mean, we're talking about some teams here that have played in, some high-scoring matches all throughout. It's not as if these teams played in a lot of 0-0 in the group stages. In fact, I think even Senegal has played in some higher-scoring games throughout early on. I think they had games totaling 4, 5, and 5 goals in the group stage. And you just watch Belgium drop 5 on New Zealand to actually win the group in day 3. So both of these teams, it feels like if it's going to happen, it could very well happen quickly here, as we got another good shot on goal by Senegal, but a nice save. And so, these two teams are known to play some offense here, and at least Senegal has shown us what they are capable of. And it feels like they're a little bit quicker, too, does it not? Right? It feels like the speed is an issue here.
Well, that's was said going in, is that Senegal is one of the fastest teams in the entire World Cup. So, that shouldn't really surprise anybody. But they're not as strong up the middle as they are on the outside. But they've definitely taken it to Belgium, at least early on in this one, as Belgium now takes their shot down. And I don't know what that kick was. I mean, the guy was 20 feet from the net, just kicked it way over. So maybe a missed opportunity there. But so far, we're in 17 minutes in without a goal. And that's been the story with a lot of these matches that we've done here. I wonder, by the way, Joe, the second half overs, how many have come in? It feels like every one, right? A lot.
Almost every one of them. I mean, it feels like almost every one of them. And there seems to be this trend where the favorites, somehow they're trailing at the break.
They're trailing.
We've seen now except for France, they seem to be the outlier that they just seem to bulldoze no matter who they're playing. We saw Norway just do this, right, as a favorite. Norway had to come back there and get it done in the second half. We saw Brazil do it. We just saw England do it. And Belgium was that close to trailing once again here. Another favorite that would have been trailing after Senegal hit the post. But we're about 19 minutes in here. Plenty of soccer left to go. And we'll keep you posted here. In-game numbers coming up. Total not doing what I thought it might do here at this point. We'll check in on it as in-game live game day continues on the grid.
He gives them a chance, but they've got to keep putting people around him. I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't know that he's the one that elevates you all by himself. I think he still needs the help. Excellent player, perfect guy to lead your organization, perfect place for it. And by the way, I'd start him from day one. I wouldn't waste any time on it. But got to put pieces around him, and John Spytek has already started doing that.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
on
stop
the
jumping.
Turf. He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Are you ready for el verano más futbolero de tu vida? Latination Football Club turns into Copa Nation, our live stream experience every day, de lunes a viernes, 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Pacific as well. Checking in after the games. In that slot between games, we got you, my friend. We're going to have celebrities, legends of the game, content creators, and a bunch of our friends that are going to keep you entertained and informed, letting you know what's happening all across the 3 countries that are going to be experiencing this crazy, crazy football tournament. Don't miss it. Copa Nation right here on Latin Nation every day. Check it out.
Welcome back in-game live at Game Day here on the SportsGrid Network. Joe Raineri alongside Craig Mish as game number 2 underway here. Senegal and Belgium in the knockout stage of the World Cup. About 22 minutes in. 0-0 right now. We certainly seen Senegal, who hit a post, who likely should be up 1-0, but no scoring here. We've seen this kind of once we get to the hydration break. Once we come out of that in a couple of minutes, things tend to seem to pick up here a little bit, but no yellow cards or anything of that nature either. It's been pretty clear, or clean rather, so far, Craig, but not a lot of physicality thus far in this one either. Just some missed opportunities, really. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah, I think so. And again, let's not make more of it what it is. I mean, Senegal had that one shot that didn't go in. It's not like they've had 10. So maybe if you're watching, you're thinking Senegal's dominating the game. They're dominating the time of possession, but their shots on goal have been limited to just 1 or 2. Right now, Belgium just seems to be in that feeling out process as to how things go. There's a reason why Belgium was the favorite, so let's not get too carried ahead of ourselves. But Joe made the point that Senegal does seem like the quicker team, the faster team, and they're able to move it very quickly on the other side. Whether or not that factors in the end game, scoring goals, I have no idea. But I think that's the best that I could say right now is when Senegal gets it and they decide they want to push, they're pushing pretty quickly, but they just haven't been able to capitalize yet on that.
Nothing yet. Coming up on the 24-minute mark, so hydration break here in another minute or so, but you're right. I mean, Senegal at this point has pretty much controlled time of possession. We've got 3 shots right now by Belgium, 3 by Senegal, so pretty even there. Corners, 1, in fact. Senegal had 1 corner kick, and that's it. 61% right now, possession time with Senegal. But again, that doesn't matter if, yep, you guessed it, you can't put any goals on the board. So you can control it all you want. The only thing that matters is ultimately the final score, and we don't have one at this particular point. But I guess 3 shots on goal, right? 3, not too bad. Another, there
That's
it
fine.
is. All right, I was going to say, yeah, there we go. We do have a goal here, I believe, Craig, unless, of course, they call that off. But I do believe another post was hitting first.
Oh, wow.
And then
off the post,
the goal
rebound
came.
in.
Was it off the post? Yeah, it was off the post
Off the
first
post,
and
rebound
then
in.
rebounded. Senegal gets on the board for, boy, this could be 2-0, Craig, if you think about it.
They look
This
like the better
already
team.
could be 2-0.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
if you didn't know the difference, you would think that Senegal should have been favored in this by watching this one. I mean, have you seen anything from Belgium at all? I have not.
No. The opening couple of minutes, they had an opportunity in the box there that they weren't able to get going. But Senegal just looks like they're running circles around them. This too was a nice kick. It was a header that hit the post, ricocheted off the post, but once again, you got Belgium players standing around watching the ricochet, and of course there was a one Senegal player inside of two defenders for Belgium. This time they didn't miss the rebound here, so 1-0, could be 2-0, and now in-game numbers have flipped. Senegal the favorite, minus 105, 106, plus 300 here for Belgium. 3.5 now is what that total is up to, and boy, oh boy, I'm telling you, we could have been. That total could have been 4.5, no problem here if they would have converted on that first chance. But Belgium's got their work cut out, it looks like here, Craig, more than anything else.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, we've seen a couple of replays. Here's my takeaway from this is that obviously they ended up scoring the goal on the rebound, which is just a little bit of lucky. You know, you never know how that's going to go. But Joe, the header from the player on Senegal that came up just short, beautiful. That would have been the goal of the World Cup had that gone in. That would have been the number one goal of the entire world. That was incredible off the side of his head to have that precision to put it in within inches of going inside the post. And it didn't, and they ended up scoring anyway. But I would say they deserved that one because that was just incredible. Wow.
Yep, 9 goals now in this tournament by Senegal, the most by an African country in the World Cup history. So, this was, shaded to the over for the reason. But right now, Senegal looks like the only one with scoring opportunities. We'll keep an eye on it as in-game live game day continues here on the grid.
He gives them a chance, but they've got to keep putting people around him. I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't know that he's the one that elevates you all by himself. I think he still needs the help. Excellent player, perfect guy to lead your organization, perfect place for it. And by the way, I'd start him from day one. I wouldn't waste any time on it. But got to put pieces around him, and John Spytek has already started doing that.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done.
Yeah.
He's
stop jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Are you ready for el verano más futbolero de tu vida? Latination Football Club turns into Copa Nation, our live stream experience every day, de lunes a viernes, 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Pacific as well. Checking in after the games. In that slot between games, we got you, my friend. We're going to have celebrities, legends of the game, content creators, and a bunch of our friends that are going to keep you entertained and informed, letting you know what's happening all across the 3 countries that are going to be experiencing this crazy, crazy football tournament. Don't miss it. Copa Nation right here on Latin Nation every day. Check it out.
All right, welcome back in-game live game day here on the SportsGrid Network as it is hydration break time here in game number 2. That's a great point. As right now, Belgium should soak themselves to try to figure out what is going on here because it has not been good early on. Senegal up 1-0 here. We're about at that 30-minute mark, and it has been all Senegal. 5 shots to 2. 2 shots on target.
What is going on here?
Yeah, well, they got to drain it out. The ground was a little warm, they said. So that's what they got going on there. But I got to tell you, I got to see a little more from Belgium. I'm holding a both teams to score ticket here, Craig. But if I'm being honest, not feeling good of Belgium's chances at this point. They have been thoroughly dominated so far in this match.
So is the hydration break now? They put the sprinklers on, and you're supposed to put your mouth up to the sprinkler and drink the sprinkler? Is that
it's
the new hydration break?
Yeah. Yes. That's it. Anywhere to squeeze a buck, FIFA. You know how that works. That's more money for them.
That was something. I haven't seen that yet. That had to be. Was that on purpose? You said that was on purpose that they put the sprinklers on?
I do not. That would be. I have no idea. I have no idea. That might have been.
I think that was an accident.
You're not supposed to be playing.
Oh no, we got a streaker now. We got a streaker. We got a streaker on the field.
We got a little something for everyone. Yes.
Oh my gosh, what is up with this match today?
Fantastic. I have no idea what is going on here. It is, and here we got cops. We got security out on the field running. Can we please get him off? And listen, this is long enough. Can we not drag this out any longer? That would be fantastic. No.
And the time is running.
How can nobody catch him? That's unbelievable.
He must be from Senegal. He's fast.
Yeah, he's running up and down the field, right? He's outrunning Belgium, I'll tell you that. Although that doesn't appear to be that difficult at this point in a 1-0, 32-minute
Taking shots
mark.
at Belgium, man. All our Belgium fans are getting mad at you.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, it was everyone made it seem like a foregone conclusion here, but they might have some history in the World Cup, but they are not living up to it right now. And it's not even so much, I mean, it's 1-0, but I'm not confident in Belgium playing enough defense to be able to continue to keep Senegal off the match here and not being able to score at least another goal or two. So this could be our highest scoring match of the knockout stage here, but I got to see a little more from Belgium defensively, right? I mean, you're trailing. It's one thing to score. You got to keep Senegal from getting inside your, the goaltender's box there and being able to get every rebound there is. They should be up 2-0. They've had 2 great shots. One they converted, one they just missed and hit the post. So Belgium's lucky to be down just 1 at this point here, Craig.
Yeah, look, I mean, it should be 2-0. Let's just keep it real. I mean, it should be at least 2-0 here. And, I don't know. Belgium's just got to get their act together somehow here. It seems like they've been hit with a little bit of a buzzstorm here and buzzsaw, and it just feels like they can't get out of it. I mean, they just have only had 2 shots total in this game and only 1 on goal. I mean, we're 30 minutes in. It should be more than that, Joe.
This is very, very interesting start to this match here so far. And, Belgium was probably very grateful for that hydration break because they did not look like they were ready to play just yet. But they'll have an opportunity here. We're at the 34-minute mark. And listen, Senegal was the dog, and I thought maybe the trendy dog of the knockout stage. A lot of people had circled this game and said, be very careful. Senegal is a very dangerous team, and they're proven to be very much that right now. But, keep an eye on what's going to happen here moving forward and get ready for Team USA tonight, taking on Bosnia. Now, Team USA is going to have, if they win tonight, they take on the winner of this match. Do they not, Craig? Is that how it works?
I have to look at that bracket that we have there. Can you see that, Tommy? I can't really see it up close on my computer.
I believe they would have the winner of Belgium-Senegal. I think that's what their bracket is. Yes, that would be there. So that's what they're looking at here. So watching this game, one of these 2 teams, if Team USA is able to advance, this is who they would be taking on here. And part of me says, I hope it's Belgium, but I have my doubts right now here, Craig, right?
I just think no matter what, it's going to be tougher for them in the next round. Like I just think that you get to that point, the pressure starts coming in. Team USA has gotten past the first round several times. It's just getting over the hump that's really been the issue for them. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna guess that if USA plays either of these two teams, it's like a pick 'em, or the other team would even be favored, or Senegal could even be favored by a little bit. But some of that will be based on how they play today too.
Correct. Yeah. Well, we'll see exactly there. I mean, certainly there's no shortage of speed on Team USA either, but that would be a whole lot of fun, I think. But this one is far from over yet at the 36-minute mark. But we got to see some shots on goal here, or even on target here for Belgium at this point, because it has not gone their way. It did go England's way, at least in the second half, in their match earlier today against Congo. And for their troubles, they now take on Mexico in the next round here in the round of 16. Craig, that, of course, is going to be in Mexico City. So here we go again with the home field advantage. England going to be taking on Mexico in that spot. We know Brazil and Norway are also already matched up. Paraguay with the upset over Germany, taking on France, who seems like they're just boat racing everyone. And then we've got Canada, who had won on Sunday. You got Canada on the 4th of July taking on Morocco, and that seems to be a lot more difficult, I think, than a lot of people realize, because Morocco was one of those dogs heading in where folks jumped all over them, Craig, and we've talked about it. They were a trendy dog to start before the tournament, and they've got a very winnable game against Canada, I believe. That's going to be a tough match for Canada coming up.
It will. I kind of think that Canada's got a shot, though. I'm a little concerned with England after watching the game today. I don't know. Like, I'm not a huge believer based on what I saw today. It seems like they're almost a one-man show with Harry Kane. So, I don't know. I feel like Spain is still one of those teams that caught some momentum there late to win. But the other part of this, too, is that we still have so many matches left to get down to 16. We're probably going to watch matches tonight, tomorrow, and even this weekend, and then kind of determine how we think things go from there. But when did you say that the round of 16 begins? Did you know? Did you have the answer? When did you say Canada plays that?
Yes. Canada is going to play July 4th. So on Saturday,
so that's when the round of 16
Canada
begins.
Will be. That's
okay.
Well, that's
Canada
when
was the first team to play 32,
there.
Right?
Correct. They played on Sunday, so they've had the so it tends to make sense. Brazil, Norway, and I believe the 5th and 6th is when we'll start to see. So 4th, 5th, and 6th appears to be when the Sweet 16, when the round of 16 rather gets going. We still have, of course, the other half of that bracket there: Portugal, Croatia still to play tomorrow, as well as Spain and Austria. We'll know tonight with Team USA if they win. It's either Belgium or Senegal. Still 1-0 here at this point, with another shot on goal. And on the other side, on the West Coast side, also extremely interesting. There are some matches here. The worst part is the side of France, because France doesn't look like they're planning on losing anytime soon.
They've been great
here,
yeah.
But wow, have they've been better than great in a lot of aspects. And yeah, there is a reason why they are slowly emerging as the favorite, as well they should be. But we'll have more for you as in-game live game day continues on the grid.
He gives them a chance, but they've got to keep putting people around him. I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't know that he's the one that elevates you all by himself. I think he still needs the help. Excellent player, perfect guy to lead your organization, perfect place for it. And by the way, I'd start him from day one. I wouldn't waste any time on it. But got to put pieces around him, and John Spytek has already started doing that.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the ref's coming over. He's like, dude, Like, come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done.
Yeah.
He's
stop jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Are you ready for el verano más futbolero de tu vida? Latination Football Club turns into Copa Nation, our live stream experience every day de lunes a viernes, 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Pacific as well. Checking in after the games. In that slot between games, we got you, my friend. We're going to have celebrities, legends of the game, content creators, and a bunch of our friends that are going to keep you entertained and informed, letting you know what's happening all across the 3 countries that are going to be experiencing this crazy football tournament. Don't miss it. Copa Nation right here on Latin Nation every day. Check it out.
All right, welcome back in-game live game day here on the SportsGrid network as the knockout rounds underway here today. We got a match right now at the 42-minute mark where Senegal, an early goal, 1-0 over Belgium here, and it really has looked like Senegal. A lot of people believe they were a very dangerous underdog here in the knockout stage. They're proven to be just that in this 1-0 match, but they have controlled it a little bit better since the hydration break, but I'm still not seeing great chances in front of the net of Senegal here, Craig. You know, we watched them, we covered that England game, and boy, that Congo goalie was put to work here, but we're just not getting that kind of level of pressure right now from Belgium on the Senegal goalie at all.
No, and it seems like Belgium basically through, and we're going to have some extra time, obviously, here. I mean, it seems like they've had a couple stoppages, but it feels like Belgium completely sleptwalked through this first half, Joe. I mean, I don't know other way to put it. They really didn't take a lot of shots. They were constantly on the defense. Anytime Senegal was running down the field, it took like 3 guys to stop everyone there, and the speed of Senegal is clearly the difference. As you alluded to in the first 5 minutes of this, it's obvious. I mean, that's the thing. Now, Belgium could have more skilled players and better at scoring, but in a game like this, in a match like this, where you just can't catch up with the other players of the other team, I don't know how they do it. So we still could have a 1-1 tie, which is what I was thinking would happen. Almost a goal there. Wow, as we just saw here, really great shot there by Belgium. Yep. Best opportunity of the day. It felt like really close. But I think that's still in play.
Yeah, they had actually 2 decent chances here in the last couple of minutes, but have not been able to get it done. And again, they're going to need to play some, I guess maybe the best defense could be an offense here. If you're Belgium, that seems to be the style that they're going to look to play. But Senegal is still very dangerous, plays in they've already played in a ton of high-scoring games, so they are very much into any sort of shootout. And if it does go to extra time, and maybe we're looking at this wrong, maybe we ought to start considering what the draw price is here, Craig, when you look at it. Plus 220, plus 230, somewhere in that ballpark. The total is back down to 2.5. It was as much as 3.5 when the goal was scored. Senegal plus 105, plus 300 for Belgium. But maybe that draw is not a bad look here, because I don't know how many more goals for Belgium's had a couple of decent chances, but has not been able to convert on anything here. And we could very well, at the 45-minute mark, we could be looking at we're going to get some extra time here. Another great save, but we could be looking at extra time and once again the favorite being down at the break.
It could very well be the case as we approach the 45-minute mark. As you said, great save. Another one coming here from Senegal. But look, these things change very quickly. In the previous show that we did, my play was under 1 goal with Congo. I thought I lost in the first 5 minutes of our broadcast, and then they didn't score the rest of the match, and it ended up being a push. And I could never have recommended going under 1.5, but under 1 or under a half would have been the play, and you end up pushing when they only had 1. So look, these things change quick. I thought this would end in a 1-1. I still think it ends in a 1-1. I think Belgium does get it going. And as you can see, for the first time, 45 minutes into this match, Joe, Belgium is finally on the attack. I don't know why it took so long, and I guess it's just the nature of soccer, but you tell me, why did it take so long for them to start taking shots like this? Why?
I do just want to let you know that Swanson has just hit another home run.
Are you serious?
It is now 22-3. The Cubs versus the Padres. It's 22-3 in the bottom of the 8th.
So that's 2 home runs 2 days ago.
7?
2,
Yep.
2, and 3 in 3 days. Yeah.
3. Yes, that's 7 home runs in 3 days is not bad. It helps when you're up 22-3, I guess, and the backup catcher is throwing right now, which is what's going on. But unbelievable there. But we got an extra 5 minutes. I guess a streaker is worth 5 minutes, which is kind of what we had here in the first half with Senegal and Belgium.
Streaker and sprinklers. And the sprinklers.
And sprinklers, that's right. We had a little bit of all of that happening here, but we do get an extra 5 minutes in a 1-0 situation. And I have both teams to score. I'm still feeling good about that, but I'm almost feeling, Greg, if trends are your friend here, the second halves have been pretty profitable to the over in goals.
Yeah.
Right? So second half over 1.5 goals could very well be in play, but I'm also thinking the draw might be better suited played sooner rather than later, because the longer this goes, that number could be dropping as well there, Craig.
I think Belgium's going to score in the second half. I do. I think Belgium's going to score.
I agree.
Yeah.
But only it's been all Belgium.
Yeah, only because of what I've seen in the last 10 minutes. If I hadn't seen that, I probably would have said no. But I see they do have, maybe they have just waited this long to get aggressive, but for whatever it's worth, I don't know that. I still think Senegal has a chance to score too. I do, but I definitely think Belgium is going to post a goal. So I'd go over a half a goal on Belgium second half.
The 7 shots, the 3 shots now, 3 shots on target for Senegal, 2 for Belgium. Belgium's had a couple of pretty good opportunities here. We're up to 3 total corners, not a ton of corners so far. Time of possession now, Craig, also just about even, 52-47%. So it seems like that hydration break came at the perfect time for Belgium, because ever since that, they have been a different team, like you pointed out, and they are certainly controlling what's happening here, controlling the ball, controlling the tempo. We'll see if they can get on board here, though, as they are approaching the 49-minute mark here, 5 minutes of extra time. So we'll see if they can get one in and get this a 1-1 game at the break as opposed to 1-0. But so far, so good here, and we might have another yellow card here for the first time. Belgium looks like they're just sucking wind here, though, Craig. They got to be careful that they didn't leave it all out here in the first half to try to get back in this. But we'll have more for you when we get back, as we're almost to the break here as in-game live game day continues on the grid.
He gives them a chance, but they've got to keep putting people around him. I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't know that he's the one that elevates you all by himself. I think he still needs the help. Excellent player, perfect guy to lead your organization, perfect place for it. And by the way, I'd start him from day one. I wouldn't waste any time on it. But got to put pieces around him, and John Spytek has already started doing that.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done.
Yeah.
He's
stop jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Are you ready for el verano más futbolero de tu vida? Latination Football Club turns into Copa Nation, our live stream experience every day, de lunes a viernes, 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Pacific as well. Checking in after the games. In that slot between games, we got you, my friend. We're going to have celebrities, legends of the game, content creators, and a bunch of our friends that are going to keep you entertained and informed, letting you know what's happening all across the 3 countries that are going to be experiencing this crazy football tournament. Don't miss it. Copa Nation right here on Latin Nation every day. Check it out.
All right, welcome back in-game live game day here as we are at the intermission here, the break in the knockout stage. Belgium unable to get a goal in that first half, down 1-0 to Senegal. But listen, 7 shots to 5 shots now. This is a different game. They were a different team, Belgium, coming out of that hydration break. But they were not able to find the back of the net, and they did have a couple of good opportunities. So here we go again, Craig, at the intermission. The underdog is leading, and now the favorite at a much better price with an opportunity to come back and win this from behind. Are you confident that Belgium can get it done here in the second half?
I mean, if Belgium wins 2-1, this will be the 3rd straight show that you and I have done where the dog is winning 1-0 and the favorite comes back to win 2-1. I mean, that's just crazy. The truth. So, I mean, if that's the trend, I guess we may as well just, I mean, I don't think Belgium is going to score 2 goals in the second half. I don't think so. I think they will score 1. I don't think they're going to score 2, but I mean, after watching the earlier match too, I didn't know that Congo would win or lose, but I didn't think they'd give up 2 goals, and I didn't think Japan would give up 2 goals. But the second halves have just heavily favored the favorites, and so maybe that's what we're in store for here. We'll know in about 15 minutes when the second half gets started.
Yeah, they did have a corner kick there right at the end with an opportunity to get a nice shot on goal. It was a good save, so. But again, I mean, it was 7 shots to 2 shots at one point, and Belgium pretty much clamped down and got it done. And Senegal, outside of that first 20 minutes, didn't do a whole heck of a lot there at the back end. So both teams will regroup. Both teams will come out here for a second half. We'll also get ready tonight for Team USA and Bosnia. And again, 270 favorite, 260 favorite, somewhere around that mark. 2.5 is your total goals tonight for Team USA and Bosnia. They have averaged, I think, 2 goals thus far each match, certainly in the group stage. It's juiced to the over tonight's total here, and I got to believe that, yeah, I kind of like the over in this spot here tonight between those two.
Well, Team USA gave up 3 goals in the last match, and they've been scoring a bunch of goals themselves. So I think we finally could be headed toward one tonight. I don't think no matter what happens in the second half of this one, we're going to see a high scoring affair. I mean, the most goals will be 2, I think, in the second half. But yeah, I'm totally with you on this one. And by the way, I don't mind. I mean, I know this is going to get some people upset. I don't mind taking Bosnia plus a goal and a half here with some minus money. I don't mind that at all. I think Bosnia is going to keep it close. I think we're in a situation now with the betting markets that Team USA, no matter who they would have played, would have been a big favorite. I think they're a little bit too big of a favorite tonight, Joe. I do. I think they're a little bit too big. I think they're going to win, but it wouldn't shock me to see a 3-2 or 4-3.
I am with you. I just, again, got to learn a little something here. I'd rather root for goals and an over than expect Team USA to win at this price. I'll also say Christian Pulisic is back in the starting lineup tonight for Team USA. He'll be looking to get his first goal of the 2026 World Cup. About a plus 130, 135 price there. So, he's got what? 1 goal, 3 assists, 6 career World Cup games. I think he's got a pretty good opportunity. Boy, that would be a huge boost if the captain, who had been hurt, comes back and he's able to find the back of the net here tonight. I think that'll be a good sign for Team USA and things to come from there.
Yeah, his injury status was murky leading up to the last match. It was not for this one. And so he supposedly is 100% healthy. Of course, we're going to have to wait and see. This is the issue this time of the year. You get to this stage, there's no resting, there's no holding back anybody. I would expect him to play the majority of the game, if not the entire game tonight. Bosnia themselves, pretty good. If you take a look at their record, they definitely have a tendency to give up a goal now and then, and they don't play the best defense, but I think they can hang tonight. I think they can hang in there, and I just don't know that this price is too tempting enough to give it to me at plus 440, but at plus 1.5 with even money, I could see that tonight. I'll take it.
Don't mind it at all, and that'll do it for Craig and I. You guys can enjoy the second half. Get ready. Team USA, 8 o'clock Eastern time, taking on Bosnia. We'll be back for more in-game live game day then. Enjoy the games. We'll see you soon.
He gives them a chance, but they've got to keep putting people around him. I think he's a very good quarterback. I don't know that he's the one that elevates you all by himself. I think he still needs the help. Excellent player, perfect guy to lead your organization, perfect place for it. And by the way, I'd start him from day one. I wouldn't waste any time on it. But got to put pieces around him, and John Spytek has already started doing that.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
This is the third time he's been medically checked. Even the refs coming over. He's like, dude, like come on. Like after every sort of play in front of the net, the kind of goal he's done. He's
stop jumping.
He's on the turf, like you said, like he's like driving off the top rope. Look at him here again. I give him credit. He's freaking fearless.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Are you ready for el verano más futbolero de tu vida? Latination Football Club turns into Copa Nation, our live stream experience every day de lunes a viernes, 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Pacific as well. Checking in after the games. In that slot between games, we got you, my friend. We're going to have celebrities, legends of the game, content creators, and a bunch of our friends that are going to keep you entertained and informed, letting you know what's happening all across the 3 countries that are going to be experiencing this crazy football tournament. Don't miss it. Copa Nation right here on Latin Nation every day. Check it out.
Knuckle Fighting Championship, the oldest and the newest combat sport. Bare Knuckle Fighting had its last champion in 1889, ending the sport's chaotic beginning without weight divisions or round limits and no referees. Over a century later, Bare Knuckle Boxing returned with a modern spin.
It's time to knuckle fight!
Today, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is regulated by athletic commissions and has become a highly technical and specialized form of combat sport that has drawn top athletes from all disciplines of martial arts. Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship presents BKFC Knuckle Up Fight Series.